In a quiet countryside village in northern England, where green meadows met foggy hills and the roads were rarely traveled, there lived a 13-year-old boy named Charlie Dawson. He was a quiet, thoughtful boy with messy brown hair, bright blue eyes, and a heart that felt too big for his small world. Charlie lived with his grandfather, Arthur, in a modest brick cottage surrounded by overgrown hedges and tall oak trees. His parents had passed away in a tragic car accident when he was just 6. Since then, Arthur had done his best to raise the boy with love, values, and strength. But Charlie always carried a silent ache in his chest, an emptiness that couldn't be explained in words. Charlie often wandered the quiet hills alone. The other kids in the village were kind, but they didn't understand him. He preferred old books over video games, rain over sunshine, and silence over small talk. And though his grandfather tried to keep him company, Charlie felt like something in his life was missing, something loyal, something that listened, something that felt like home. One cloudy afternoon, as mist rolled through the woods, Charlie heard a soft, pitiful whimper near the stream. Curious, he followed the sound until he saw a thin, trembling figure huddled beneath a fallen tree. It was a stray dog, mud-covered, ribs showing, and one paw injured. The dog had shaggy golden fur and the saddest, most soulful eyes Charlie had ever seen. Charlie crouched slowly. "Hey, buddy. It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you." The dog flinched, ready to run. But then, something unspoken passed between them. The boy with the aching heart, the dog with nowhere to go, both broken, both forgotten, both alone. Charlie reached into his pocket, pulled out the biscuit he'd packed for himself, and offered it. The dog hesitated, sniffed, then limped forward and gently took it. That was the beginning. He named the dog Rusty because of the golden tint in his fur that shimmered. Like rust in the sunset, Rusty was cautious at first, always keeping a little distance, always watching. But Charlie kept showing up, day after day, bringing food, talking to him, waiting. And then, one morning, Rusty followed Charlie all the way home. Charlie's grandfather didn't protest. He saw something change in his grandson, something gentle, glowing. Rusty brought light into their small house. He followed Charlie everywhere, to school gates, to the market, to the hills and streams. At night, he'd curl up at the foot of Charlie's bed and sleep like he finally belonged. Over the months, Rusty healed physically and emotionally. But so did Charlie. They became inseparable. Rusty wasn't just a pet. He was a listener, a guardian, a mirror to Charlie's soul. When Charlie cried silently at night, Rusty would quietly nudge his hand. When Charlie laughed, Rusty barked and danced with him in the grass. Together, they built a world where pain didn't win. A world where scars became stories. A world where love came in four-legged forms and tail wags. One evening, a violent thunderstorm rolled in. Charlie and Rusty had been walking far from home when the winds turned cruel and rain began to pour. As lightning cracked the sky, Rusty barked a sharp, alarming bark. Charlie turned. A section of the hillside trail had collapsed under the weight of the rain, and without warning, Charlie slipped. He screamed as he tumbled halfway down the slope, landing hard against a rock. His leg twisted painfully and he couldn't move. "Rusty!" he cried. Within seconds, the dog was at his side, whining and licking his face. Charlie tried to stand, but pain shot through his leg like fire. He was cold, wet, and miles from help. Darkness was falling fast. "Go, Rusty! Get help!" Charlie whispered, barely holding consciousness. But Rusty refused to leave. He lay beside Charlie, wrapping his body around him, shielding him from the cold. Barking into the storm, again and again, as if calling the world to listen. Hours passed. Then, a distant voice. Then, flashlights. It was his grandfather and the search team. They found Charlie, barely conscious, but alive. Thanks to Rusty's cries that echoed through the hills and brought help just in time. Rusty had saved his life. After weeks in the hospital, Charlie returned home with a limp and a new understanding of life. Rusty never left his side, not even once. He was no longer just a stray dog. He was a hero, a brother, a savior. One crisp morning, as the leaves turned golden, Charlie sat beside Rusty under the old oak tree near their home. The same place they used to sit when life felt too heavy. Charlie looked at his dog, who now had a graying snout and tired eyes. "You saved me, Rusty. I don't know where I'd be without you." Rusty looked up, tail gently wagging, as if to say, "You saved me first." Charlie smiled. "I promise, I'll always take care of you until your last day, and long after that, I'll carry you in my heart." Years passed. Charlie grew up. He became a vet, dedicating his life to rescuing and healing animals just like Rusty once was. His story inspired many. And at the entrance of his clinic stood a bronze statue of a golden dog with kind eyes, named Rusty. Rusty passed away peacefully one evening, wrapped in Charlie's arms, the same way he once shielded Charlie from the storm. But his legacy lived on in every animal Charlie saved, in every heart he touched, in every lonely child who learned that love can come from the most unexpected places. Moral of the story: sometimes the ones we save us right back. Love doesn't always come with words. Sometimes it comes on four legs with muddy paws and a beating heart full of loyalty. Never underestimate the healing power of friendship, especially the silent kind.